Well, hey, coming up on 5 News this morning, we'll have the latest into an investigation out of Fort Smith, a deadly stabbing.
We'll hear from a witness who says that he saw the fight unfold.
And starting off this morning, not too bad, heading out the door into those 50s already. Good morning to you there. We're going to be seeing plenty of sunshine once again today. We'll talk about a cooler Friday coming up.
And Arkansas lawmakers considering a bill to combat bullying. We'll have more on the proposal to add recording devices in locker rooms.
Plus, a local news outlet has gained over 10,000 subscribers in a single year. Hear from the founder about his mission to share community stories.
A live look first for you outside in Fort Smith here at 6:30 on this Thursday. A sunrise beautiful. 5 News this morning is now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Well, hey, did you see that sunrise? It is beautiful this morning. If you haven't yet, step outside, take a peek. Beautiful sunrise. The birds are singing this morning. It's a great day.
Yeah, earlier we said we were going to hear two things this week. We're going to hear the birds chirping and the lawnmowers
going.
Oh my goodness, lawnmowers are out there on all my neighborhood walks this week.
Yeah.
They've been going and the allergies have been hurting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even imagine. Yeah, I've heard a lot of lawnmowers this week as well, including mine. Got mine done, so now I get to enjoy this weekend. You should do the same today. Get that grass cut so you don't have to do it Saturday or Sunday. It's going to be nice outside. Let's take a look at what we have the rest of the day today in Northwest Arkansas. Those daytime highs reaching up into those mid-70s for us today. Again, this is even with that cold front moving through today. You'll feel that cooler air, though, by the time we get to our Friday. You see, today, those winds going to be pretty strong coming out of the northwest, though. By this afternoon into the evening hours, those winds pick up around 10 up to 20 miles per hour with those wind gusts every once in a while near 30. That's going to filter in the cooler air. That's going to affect our Friday. Across the River Valley today, still reaching up into those low 80s. Plenty of sunshine out there throughout the day today. Got a few clouds out there across the River Valley right now. Taking a look across those cameras out across the area and seeing a little bit of cloud coverage out there. I think we lose some of that. See some sunshine later on today. Again, those winds coming in going to be pretty strong by the afternoon to the evening. Anywhere between 20 up to 30 mile per hour wind gusts coming from the northwest. That's going to pump in that cooler air for our Friday. So by the time we're waking up tomorrow morning, starting off into those low to mid 40s, going to be a little bit different than what we have out there for this morning. Let's get a check of traffic out there this morning. Here's a live look out across I-540 Arkansas River, crossing over the bridge there. Good morning to you there. No accidents, no slowdowns so far this morning. That commute looks pretty nice.
All right, thanks for that, Stephen. Well, developing story this morning out of Fort Smith where police say they're looking for suspects after a shooting happened last night near the Foxfire Club, which is on North 10th Street.
Officers arrived on scene to find 2 victims, both taken to local hospitals, but no information about their condition was provided. Police say no arrests have been made at this time and are asking anyone with information on the shooting to come forward.
Well, this morning, new questions are being raised in Van Buren after a man was found dead over the weekend.
Police say it started as a welfare check on Sunday morning. Officers were called to South 40th Street and Kingsbury Drive, where they found 34-year-old Michael O'Malley dead from a stab wound to the chest. But now a witness claims that he saw the fight unfold a whole day earlier. Robert Snyder says he tried to separate the men, but backed off when one of them pulled a knife and slashed a tire.
He says he called 911 early Saturday morning. Snyder claims dispatchers and officers initially told him they couldn't find anyone at the scene. Based off his conversations with the family, Snyder says he believes critical time was lost, time that could have saved a life.
Family members said that the autopsy examiner or the medical examiner determined that he was alive after he had been stabbed twice, once in the neck and once in the heart.
According to the probable cause affidavit, investigators believe that Anthony Tabor, right there on your screen, 19 years old, stabbed O'Malley during the altercation, then fled the scene in a stolen vehicle. Days later, police found a knife matching witness descriptions in a creek behind Tabor's apartment. Police confirmed that this remains an active investigation. And Snyder tells us that the FBI was brought into the review and is handling of Schneider's initial 911 call. Well, the Benton County Sheriff's Office is looking for their canine memorial after a person working for DoorDash snatched it after dropping off food to the station. Just take a look at this surveillance video. They say the delivery driver named Hector helped himself to the statue sitting right next to the front door. The Sheriff's Office is asking for help identifying the driver before DoorDash does.
Well, after bringing awareness to alleged bullying in a school locker room, Arkansas lawmakers are now joining parents' fight to stop this from happening again. On Wednesday, State Representative Keith Brooks introduced a House bill known as Eli's Law. He says the bill is inspired by two students who experienced alleged abuse in their locker rooms.
The basics of the bill are that it's a requirement to include an audio recording device in locker rooms in schools in the state of Arkansas.
Representative Keith Brooks took it on to help us get it through a bill named after Eli for standing up for the kids involved, and hopefully it will stop any more abuse that's happening.
Under the bill, schools are required to post signs notifying people about the audio recording devices. Recording must be kept for at least 90 days. Schools must also provide at least 10 days notice before destroying any. Only parents, guardians, and administrators can request access to those recordings. Well, some lawmakers question the bill's funding plan, but Brooks says it will be paid for by the School Public Safety Fund.
Well, staying at the state capitol, Arkansas lawmakers held off on the vote on Wednesday on a plan to fund a new prison near Charleston. The appropriations bill has failed 5 times and fell 6 votes short of the 27 needed to clear the Senate. The legislative session is set to wrap up next Wednesday. Well, now we're hearing from the Franklin County judge, who says no one from Little Rock has reached out to him about plans for that new prison. Judge Ricky Bowman says that he thinks the project will be too expensive for taxpayers.
I just hope some of these senators wake up and protect their constituents, protect our state.
He said other than the few times when the plans were first announced, he has not been in contact with anyone from the governor's office. Meanwhile, Senator Joshua Bryant from Benton County has introduced a separate bill that proposes a major investment in the state's prison system, potentially directing $420 million towards the construction of a new state prison somewhere in the state. His bill would take money from the state securities reserve fund to use on correctional facilities in 2025 and 2026.
Well, new this morning, we're introducing you to a Bentonville native who is working to share the stories and important issues in his hometown. 5 News partners with the Bentonville Bulletin, the publication he started just 1 year ago.
5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley is here to share his mission and journey. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Tiffany and Joe. What began as just a simple email newsletter just a year ago has now captured the attention of thousands of subscribers, and there's one person behind all of this. I talked with him about how he hopes his hyper-local vision is helping Bentonville residents stay connected to the stories that matter most to them. As Bentonville grows, there's a lot happening. That's why Sam Hoisington noticed a need for an outlet that focuses exclusively on Bentonville. He launched the Bentonville Bulletin, a free, exclusive email newsletter focused entirely on the city's happenings. Since its launch last April, the Bulletin has covered everything from community events to in-depth reporting on issues like sewer projects and city budgets. Hoisington's journalism background and deep connection to Bentonville drive his mission to offer residents timely, relevant news while building trust and making it accessible to everyone.
Bentonville is my hometown, and it's full of people that I love, and most importantly to me, everything that happened in my life that's good happened because of Bentonville. You know, I'm a product of Bentonville Public Schools. That set me up for, the ability to go to college. I'm more or less a crowd-funded project of Bentonville taxpayers. So I do feel a certain sense of obligation to get involved when there's something that I can do about a problem.
Sam says the future of the Bentonville Bulletin is bright. He hopes to eventually bring more reporters on board, continue building a deeper connection with his readers, and we'll get a link to the Bentonville Bulletin up on our website and how you can sign up for that newsletter in your email. That's on our website, 5newsonline.com. Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
Thanks for that, Morgan. Well, today, President Donald Trump is expected to meet with his cabinet at the White House. It comes a day after he pressed pause on his reciprocal tariffs against most countries except China. This morning, global markets opened much higher, and the White House says up to 70 countries are pushing for talks. However, some U.S. business owners are saying that the president's move adds to their uncertainty.
Biggest thing, the uncertainty, not knowing what is going to happen in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months.
But China is retaliating, upping their tariff on U.S. goods to 84%. President Trump hit back with a 125% tariff on those Chinese imports. Now ahead on Wednesday's pause, the European Union announced its own 25% tariffs on some U.S. goods. That will start next week. The president's advisors predict that those could also be delayed.